3%, 4% of America and 10% and rest. What's their net worth? How much they have in the savings bank, in retirement funds. So very good video. Oh my gosh, I watched it last night. So love to share that. I'm going to do a spin-off of that to kind of teach my side also, that people who really are doctors, attorneys, entrepreneurs, they're making 300, 400,000, but how much money are they keeping? How much money they are growing their money? 7 streams of income she talks about. So it's a good video. So I'm going to dissect that.
Welcome back, Alchemist. This is Abundance Thursdays with myself, Gualter Amarelo, and the great Vinney Smile Chopra, who's just on fire this morning. So, Vinney, I hit the record button. I went live stream while you were talking. So, let's dive into it, man. This is Wealth Principle number 7. Abundance Thursdays. We do this every Thursday at 12 p.m. EST, 9 p.m.
9 a.m.
PST on the West Coast. So
Yes,
Abundance
yes.
Thursdays, we try to tackle one of these wealth principles and also bring some of your positivity to it. Principle number 7 is who has your money, or who has my money, who has your money. Greg Cardone popularized this, and he made it sound very greedy, like who has my money, and there's a lot
I
of
remember
judgment
that.
that Greg gets. But
Yeah.
we actually are using this as a business principle. And it's a real business principle. We're going to go through it the
Yes.
same way. For anybody who doesn't know who Vinney is, we do this on Thursdays because Vinney came to this country with $7. He built a wonderful portfolio, over $1 billion in multiple different types of real estate, not just one. He's done it through hospitality, through multifamily, through senior assisted living. He used to flip single family homes and eventually said, wow,
And
this
build them
doesn't
too.
work.
And build also. Yeah, I'm a
And
developer
develop
too.
and build. And one of the cool things is that his wife said, you're not allowed to spend any money on multifamily. You get $1,000 and that's it. And he was able to build a $1 billion portfolio that
In one
to this
year. Yeah. Oh
day,
no, in 10 years. 10 years. 10 years.
over 10
It's a
years,
yeah. I've been in
but
it
in
for
one
20
year,
years. Yeah.
you acquired over 100 units. Your first
Yes,
year of
yes.
multifamily, you acquired over 100 units.
Yeah.
Started with a 14-unit building, I believe it was.
14 unit building. Yep. In Odessa,
And then two
Texas.
days later, you closed on 140
Nine
something
units.
units.
109
109.
units.
109.
Along
So
with 100
that's
storage
a
units. Yeah.
so for anybody just logging in is like, oh, who's this, Indian guy and this bald white guy? Like, well, these guys are I'm a student of Vinny's, and
Uh,
last night we found out that two of Vinny's students, not me, two of Vinny's students closed on multi-million-dollar deals. And Vinny, what you know or may not know is that me and Dave Mulvaney are actually friends. He's been in part of my mentorship for a little while, and he texted me and he said,
yes.
"Hey," because I texted him. I said, "Hey, Vinny just told me that you closed on the winery about time,"
Yes.
because I was
Yes.
ready to invest with him. I was going to do that deal with him,
Yeah.
and I just said, "Congratulations," and he said, "Bro, add me to your list of millionaires." He said,
I
"One
love
more
you.
millionaire."
I love it. I love it. I love it. This is so exciting. Ankur and David were in the car when they joined because I do mastermind 4 p.m. PST every Wednesday. So it was going on with my other students in there. And they just popped in. I said, "Hey, Ankur, how are you?" He says, "Vinny, you're not going to believe it." And then he put David Melvini on the camera. He was driving and so forth. And then we talked, and they just closed on the winery, which has got the banquet hall there. It's got also beautiful grounds. I mean, so many acres.
As
And then it's got
cottages, little single family
cottages.
homes.
Yep,
Yes.
yep, yep. So that's very, very exciting. And seller
Vinny, when they brought
financing.
this deal and seller finance, yes. When they brought this deal, I said, man, like I would just love to own a winery.
Yeah,
Like it doesn't have to provide a strong return. I would just love
yep.
to say I'm invested in a winery.
You know,
It would round out my portfolio in a really cool way. So it's all right. Next time. Next time.
I was telling them yesterday, hey, did you pick up some wine bottles for Vinny Chopra? I love wine. I think I'm going to go up there and stay at their, lodging also. It'll be fun. It'll be fun to celebrate together. Then, of course, Thomas and Franco, they closed on their 10 units last week, which is exciting. And they are almost LOI accepted on the 40 units. So
And
that's
isn't
very,
that
very,
that they're following Vinny Chopra's model, right? You can go after the big buildings, go after the small buildings. Don't miss out on an opportunity. And
yes,
if you get both, cool. You close on the small one, then you close on the big one. But the idea of the
totally.
small one is you could do it with your own capital. The idea of the
Yep.
big one is you need to bring other people in.
Yep.
but a lot of people start, and this is for anybody who's never heard like Vinny Chopra speak before. A lot of people start trying to aim at like really, really big properties that they just don't know if they can swing it. They don't have the reputation, they don't have the key principles, all the stuff.
Hmm.
But if you aim at something small and at something big, even if you can't land the big one, at least you absolutely can land the small one. Absolutely get a
Oh,
multifamily.
exactly. And I always suggest that if you're newbies, please, please, please don't take that 100, 200, 400 units. I mean, a lot more complexities come there. And you got to start small, but then scale up. The beauty of scaling up is syndication or funding, through the SEC ruling and all that. Learn that trick. That's why I wrote that book, Apartment Syndication Made Easy, which has been a
Right
top
there,
seller
right.
for the last five,
Uh, uh,
6 years,
your
right
books,
over
Vinny, your
there.
books are
Yeah.
all right here in my purple section. I got all your books
Thank
right
you.
there.
Right there. Then my senior living. Then my, of course, the positivity book. My
Positivity brings
hospitality book
profitability.
will be put right
Coming
there.
soon.
I'm revising, revising. I want to give the best of the best. I've been in hospitality for 7 years now. So it's very exciting for me to learn from the grassroots what we take, how to underwrite, how to find deals. And that's why I want to talk to you about. We wrapped up on the Plano, Texas Marriott Courtyard. We got the LOI accepted for a hotel in your backyard. What? Tampa, Florida.
No way. No way. It's so hard to get into Tampa real estate.
Oh,
Absolutely
you'll be
amazing.
so
Hold on.
excited.
Is it
My,
under agreement? Is it
it is
or
under
can we?
agreement. We are working. Its LOI is accepted, off-market deal, and nobody can take it away from us. And we are just contracts with the attorneys. We are talking, and we got 60 days due diligence and 30 days after that close. So 90 days. Today is middle of December, whatever it is. I'm sure we'll be all proud owner
All done
by
by
middle of
March,
March. Middle of
April,
March.
somewhere in that
Yep.
timeline.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Wow. So
Maybe
Vinny,
even
and I don't want
earlier.
to.
Maybe earlier. I closed on my Austin deal in 54 days from the day of the contract, 54 days. I closed Bentley in Orlando in 56 days. So I have record of blazing speed. Actually, we
Vinny,
got the LOI.
my audience is listening to you right now and saying, Vinny, you take so long to close on your deals because these are single family guys, right? Single family
Sorry.
guys and gals and families and couples. So can you explain, like this is totally different from today's wealth principle, but can you explain for a second
Yeah.
why in commercial closing in 57 days is considered outrageously lightning fast?
It is. It is. The thing is, in my situation, my partner's situation, we are so strong financially and networks and everything. We don't have to seek out at all. So we start talking to the lender right away. I've closed on 42 deals because I get my lender to approve my loan before the contract is totally solidified. Wait a minute. That's just the purchase contract. And I have the loan already solidified. So that's the speed we go with. Due diligence, we have already done underwritings. We have looked at all the financials. We know this deal is smoking hot. $6 million revenue per year. It's cash flowing machine. And the PIP is not needed, only 500,000 or something, very little. Yes, 5,000, or whatever.
I just realized we can get away with talking about this because who has my money is the bank. Here's an answer. The bank has your money to go buy the deal. Now, when you talk about PIP, this is a word that's again from the hotel space. A lot
Yes,
of people aren't going to know
yes,
what that means.
yeah.
What is a PIP?
PIP is like capex, just like in multifamily, in storage, in any kind of commercial real estate. It's the extra money that sometimes you need to renovate. That's PIP, property improvement plan. It's called in the hospitality terms, or capex. It's called in other commercial terms.
I love this. It's so you go to the banks. Now, when you're buying these hotels, it's different from
Yes.
what we're doing in the multifamily space. I know we
Yeah.
use non-QM lenders. We use companies like Renovo or Dominion
Hmm.
Financial or
Hmm.
smaller investors will use companies like Kiavi who do like, four families and down. Uh,
Hmm.
what what kind of lenders are you using? Like these are bridge
CMBS.
lenders, bridge and
This will
gap
be
lenders I
CM.
was talking
No,
about.
we don't do bridge lenders because it's stabilized asset. We do bridge when we don't have stabilized assets. This is 87% occupancy average. So it's a beautiful, beautiful. nugget. We got
which
off deal.
adds to why commercial takes so long to close, right? Because
Yes, yes,
57
yes.
days is such a tight time frame for permanent financing. For
Yeah,
agency lending, you're going to
agency land.
agency, you're going to Fannie Mae,
Yeah,
Freddie Mac. Is that
yes. Or CMBS. CMBS. In the hotels, they love to give. So we got a good quote already, 6%, 6.5%. Very good interest rate. We love it. It's going to be close.
CMBS is
BS.
different
Yeah.
from CBRE?
Yeah,
Who is
CBRE is a
CMBS?
broker. Yeah, CBRE is a broker that sells the properties and all that. But CMBS is the commercial loan, side of the business. Yeah, we don't want to go too much detail, but the
No, right? Because
exciting
that's a
thing is,
whole, yeah.
yeah, the exciting thing is because it's a 506C, I can talk about it. We got the LOI accepted last Friday. Today's Thursday, lightning speed. We have the brochure out, underwriting templates, everything, pictures, you name it. I'm meeting. I already met 2 days back with my partners. They are committing $3 million already. I'm meeting today
Yep.
at 10 o'clock after this show for another partner who is thinking to bring in 1 million into this deal. We may not even need anybody else, literally. So the exciting thing is when your vision is right, when your mindset is right. I mentioned to you that maybe 4 hotels in 2026 or seven. I gave a number seven, but how you start to visualize it, things happen. So we know for sure this is a go, and we have 4 more hotels we are looking at right now. So it's not good to just stop and look at one. You got to keep on underwriting. It's,
This is powerful. So we've talked about, let's call it the money to buy the deal. This is the money to buy the deal. Who has my money? We're going to continue through this.
yeah.
There's a cap stack here. You just developed a cap stack just in this conversation. You said, look, we're going to go to CMBS,
Yeah,
and
see, a
we have
base
our
loan.
private and our partners. We've talked now people
Yes,
who we're going to bring in as LPs
totally.
who are going to
Yep.
finance the rest of this project. So that's a cap stack. That's down payment plus
Senior
limited
loan,
PIP.
senior
Yep,
loan,
a
and
senior
the
loan.
LPs. Yep, 70/30 split or something. So leverage is a huge thing in commercial and in every kind of real estate. In stock market, you can do margins and options and all that stuff. But in real estate, the bank comes along, or Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac comes along. They say this deal is so good, we'll finance you 70% or 75%. Actually, my Bentley over there at Maitland in Orlando, they financed 84.16% for me. What? Penny May. That's what it is. And I had to bring in so little down payment. That's the beauty of, to have some good credits, good ambience, good everything, good story. Then the banks want to take bigger risks on you.
And
If
these
the
are
deal
nicer
is done,
assets. When the
yeah, these are
asset is
nicer. Yeah.
stabilized, Fannie Mae wants it. When the
It's
asset's not
only 8 years
stabilized, they're
old,
like,
8 years old
yeah,
asset. What can go wrong in eight
that's A
years? Nothing.
class. That's technically A class, built within 10 years. So Vinny, you're
Yep.
leveling up.
Yep. Yep.
There's other types of money. And you
Mhm.
talk about your 4 layers of gold or 4 levels of gold, 4 types of gold. Uh,
Yes.
these are people who have your money also. So to follow this principle for anybody who's just jumping in, we're talking about because people ask all the time, oh, how do I get more money? How do I get more money? How do I get more money? Or I
Yeah.
want money to come to me passively. And we just talked about 2 forms of passive income. Senior debt
Yes.
is one, and then coming in as a limited partner. These are passive income streams. And a lot of
Yes.
people will say, oh my God, I don't have the ability to be a senior debt partner. You probably do on something smaller. What we're talking
Yes.
about is we're talking about multi-million-dollar deals. The largest senior debt private money lender I've had has been a $500,000 private lender. That's the
Love
highest
it.
I've done in my business, but I have friends who have 1 million or 2 million that are private lenders.
Sure.
Vinny's, what's the largest, because you're talking about 3 million, the largest LP you've ever had in one of your deals?
I would say probably the largest in one deal has been million. I think million.
A
I'm trying
million.
to think,
A million.
but
Because
several at the 500. Several,
you have
several,
people who
several.
separate and diversify across different deals that they're doing with you.
Yes.
So
Yes. Yes.
ultimately, they may have more with
Yeah. I
you,
think
but they're
six
diversified
million.
across different
Yeah.
assets. Okay.
Right, right. Different assets, maybe 5 to 6 billion. It might go higher and higher now because we are
Before
buying so
we
many, yeah, cash flowing.
Before we get into your four types of gold, the four layers of
Yes.
gold, I'd like to find out, why does a person diversify across Vinny Chopra $6 million? Like, why does a private lender, why is that smart? Like, why should they do that instead of 6 million on one loan or one
Oh
deal or one
no,
asset?
no,
Why
no,
is it
never.
smarter to diversify across multiple different
Totally.
assets?
Diversification. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. I say that always to my investors, even those who want to put 500. I say, why don't you break it in two hotels, 250, 250, like that, or million, break it into 500, 500. Or if they have many, many millions, put million, 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 like that. The key thing is even 100,000 investor. You want to diversify, check who is the operator, how many people are on the top, are they, how long they've been working together, what's their track record, what's their experience, all those things count. Don't give away money, just like last week we talked about. Don't give away money fast. Do not give your money because somebody came overnight and said, hey, this is the nicest butter bread, whatever knife, slice of butter.
Oh, I
No,
need the
no,
money tomorrow. Run. Run.
run, totally run. Oh my gosh, I got a deal. Somebody said, Vinny, we want to close middle of January. I said, hold on. How much are you looking for? $9 million. I said, take a hike. I mean,
Yep.
you have not even put together the investors base and you want to close
Yeah.
on such a big deal? This is totally ridiculous. And many
Yeah.
times they say, oh, I've got so much money coming over here. Zero. They're just trying to tell you the urgency so that you could write that check quickly. Never do that. Never ever do that. Take your time, take your sweet time to show the packet, the legal paperwork, and everything to your CPA, to your attorney, to your pastor, to your family. Everybody should know before you invest into any deal.
I love that. It's a thing that I see a lot of people doing in secret, and then they bring me in as a consultant for having lost money. And so I'm sitting down, I'm like, oh, like, well, what happened here? Well, I did this. You didn't tell your wife about this one? No, I didn't tell my wife about this one. Wow, that's kind of crazy to me. You didn't go to your CPA, you didn't go to your attorney, you didn't check in on these things. It's like, okay, well, that might have been where we went wrong. What other investor did you talk to about this? And they didn't. So I've seen it a lot in what I've been doing this year. And Vinny, it's a mess out there. If
And I would
And I know
say
you and I
the
focus on
private
positivity all
investors,
the time, right?
the,
We
the, the
do.
LPs should ask the
Yeah.
operator, hey, would you record this? Because my wife is not here, my spouse is not here, my daughter, my son, we do things together, our LLC, and my CPA would like to also know I cannot commit anything to you right now. Would you record this? This is so important that you record,
Yeah.
then you
Yeah.
watch it again, that presentation from the sponsor, whatever, and then share that same thing with your CPA, attorney, and everybody. I mean, they may take a little bit time to go through it, but you want to be doubly, triply
Ask that they
sure.
do. Ask that they do.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's a and I can't speak for a lot of these syndication operators. That's not really the people I work with. I work with a lot of people who have lent. They do the lending side, and they've
yeah,
got bad borrowers, and I see a lot of bad borrowers.
yeah.
But I hear stories of operators who are doing capital calls that are not
Mhm.
paying or whatever. And there's a time for a capital call when the property really needs it. I know you've done them, Vinny, when
Yep.
it's been very
Hmm.
intentional and very intelligent,
Yes, yes.
but there's a
Hmm.
plan, there's an exit. And when a so I'll just say this for all this is syndications and debt partners, borrowers. If they can't map out how your money comes back, that's very scary. If it's one day mysterious, well, no, there's got to be a plan for it. Because who has your money comes down to great operators, great borrowers, great operators, great GPs. So if we
Hmm.
were to go deeper into this just a little bit more, Vinny Chopra has seen money at degrees that most people can never even dream of. Now you've moved other people's money, let's call it, and I mean like private sector, other people's money in the LP space, up to $220 million, the most you had at one time of other people's money that you were actively earning for them. And your
Hmm.
average, and you've never told me this, but I think your average that you've paid out to investors is a
18
is
to
plus
26%, 18 to 20% per year.
cool.
Now the
I was gonna
deals
say
are
more than
not that
20%.
strong. Yeah,
Yeah.
more than 20,
And
like
I'm talking about
doubling the
over the last
money.
15 years, the last 15
Yes,
years of doing
yes,
this, because some of your returns have
yes.
been 35%, 60%, some of them have been
Way
insane.
high. Yeah,
But
yeah,
let's
yeah,
call it between 18 and 27.
yeah.
That
Totally.
is as a phenomenal track record. So you have
It
had other
is.
people's money. So there's been a
Yes.
lot of people out there, let's call it 220 million worth, that have said, Vinny has my money. Vinny pays me, right? Vinny pays me monthly, Vinny pays me quarterly, Vinny pays me annually, Vinny pays me every 3 to 5 years. I get this big chunk. So
Yes.
what's it like having other people's money? Because a lot of people are like,
You
oh, they're
know,
looking for more, looking for more, looking for more.
it's
What is it
it's
like
a
being the person who
very
provides and pays and says, hey, I
it's a
got you, I
big
got you?
burden. It's a very
It
big
can be.
burden.
It
Let me
can be.
tell you that, it's not only I was on the loans of 400 some million or whatever. That's a lot of, shoulder loan. And then you have the investors' money of 220 million. That's a lot. That's a lot. But the exciting thing is that you underwrite well and you operate correctly and you exit as you plan. You don't hit all out of the ballpark. Certain, one deal, I think I gave 8.5% totally, per year, which was not bad. I mean, average stock market gives about that much. But then the key thing is you got to follow your plan, your systems, and make sure it's not what you buy, what you
Was that a
do after
multifamily
you buy.
deal, Vinny? Just
Yeah,
just
that was a
asking. That was a
multifamily. Yes,
multifamily deal. That was right when they were
multifamily.
starting
San
to get
Antonio, San
squeezed, compressed.
Antonio.
It wasn't, yeah.
Yes, yes,
And
yes. We
that's
found
important to
that the
recognize.
sewer
You're
lines
in
were
hospitality
broken.
now.
Sewer
Yep.
lines were broken. That's what the deal. I still remember 74 units
Oh,
in
you've
Alamo
broken this one
Heights.
down for me before.
I
Not
think
good,
I
not
did.
good.
I think I did. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
you
you
know, but
still, even in a bad deal, that's actually proof. A great operator, even in the bad deal, and a deal that's like it's
yeah,
gone sideways every way you can, all the pipes need to be replaced, which
yes,
nobody
yes,
accounts for. You
yes,
still paid
yes,
your
yes.
investors 8%. You still got
8%.
them all their money back.
Yeah, yeah,
And I know
yeah.
operators right now who are not
And my
doing that, Vinny.
investors were attorneys. All
Yeah.
the group of attorneys who invested in that game too. They were all friends. But they were
Yep.
so happy that we'll meet every 2 weeks, not quarterly, every 2 weeks, give them updates, what we are
When
doing,
things get
everything.
tough, that's a tip, right? That when things
Mhm.
get tough, start getting deeper connection, deeper
Yeah,
relationships.
yeah.
Very cool. So we've dove quite a bit into the passive side of things. Like here's passive income. Who has my money passive wise? But there's also other layers of passive income. You as an operator, as somebody who's managing large teams or managing partners who manage large teams, you have four layers of gold. And you talk about it often. You've said it many times, but this is the principle that really comes into play. Uh, what are the four layers? What are the four steps or levels of gold for Vinney Chopra? Who has your money at the different levels?
I would say the number one are the residents of the multifamily travelers in my hotels, seniors in my senior livings, and buyers who have bought my developments and things like that. So they are the number one. They are gold. We need to treat them as gold. The number two, I say, are my LP and GP partners who bring the money in down payments and closing costs and everything and invest with me and partner with me. They are gold. So my LPs and GPs are gold. My third are my team members. These could be the companies who operate now. I used to have my own operational companies, 158 people I had on payroll every 2 weeks for many, many years. And we managed all our multifamilies in house vertically, but not now because we have sold so much portfolio. It doesn't make sense. So we work with third party top operators and we manage the managers, it's called. So those are my gold. The, the team of people who are in the front desk of my hotels or senior living in the business centers right there, or in apartments, the leasing office and the community managers, all of them. So they are my third gold right there, because if they don't give the right product, everything goes downhill. See, so number one, residents, number two, LPs, GPs with me, number three are the vendors, Then number four are my partners, the brokers. The brokers, the loan brokers, the property brokers, the network I have built, my contractors, my GCs, all of them are gold. And then come Vinney Chopra and family and my company and everything. So we are at the bottom of, we are gold because if we don't perform, nothing up the line takes into shape what we want them to.
And why is it? It seems obvious. It seems obviously why the customers that when you first talk about like step one of your gold, that's
Yeah.
money. They're paying you every month. That's obvious to me.
Yes.
The LPs, the
Yes.
banks, the
Ye-
lenders, the LPs, these passive
Yes.
investors, why are
Yes.
they gold? Why are they
Oh,
gold? And why do they come before your staff?
oh my gosh. If they don't give us the money, the leverage, nothing happens. Hold on. Even the top gold residents will never have residences in my apartment complexes and hotels unless we buy them. So, lending is so important. The piece of the puzzle is the senior debt or bridge debt if it's unstabilized. If it's stabilized and cash flowing, then of course Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, CMBS, all these, you know. But then there is that leverage: 70% they give, or 80% they give, or 60% they give. Then I have the down payment and the closing costs and legal fees and everything along with my money, my skin in the game, which I do put, my partners put 10% always in our deals ourselves. So we are putting our money to also work with us. 10% LP in a in the deals I'm doing now. So that way we have skin in the game. That's the beauty of it. So we have to have the LPs and GPs and the lender to buy the deal. If we don't buy the deal, residents are not there. And then below, the people in the front, my team members, my property management companies have no job.
No job. It's funny because it seems obvious to you and me now. Like for me
Yeah.
now, it seems obvious. But a year ago, if you told me that, I would have been like, wait, you put the investors and the lenders before you put your staff because the staff does all the
Yes.
work. But I have found that if I tell my tenants that I need to pay my mortgage, they don't care. But I
No.
have found that if I tell my staff that I need to
Mhm.
pay my mortgage, they'll bust their ass to make it work. Now,
Yeah.
if I tell my lender that my tenants haven't paid me, they don't care. But if I tell my lender I need to pay my vendors, there's a draw for me. And I'm like, I'm
You're
realizing the
kind of
money flows
making
in
me
this
think.
direction.
Hold on. I think maybe there might be something to talk about. I'll ask ChatGPT today. The key thing
But
is,
I'm
you're
I'm listening
right.
to you and I'm saying the money flows where the caring is, where people care, where people feel responsible
Yeah.
and if you can pay attention to that, you will have more money
I
because
would
it flows
say by
naturally in this
putting the
direction.
res I would say by putting the residents on the top, that can only come about by delighting them, making sure
Yes.
their service orders are taken care of, make sure our website is good, make sure the leasing people are doing great job. So I think the money comes from the residents. That's
Yes.
why I put them on the top. Our staff salary and bonuses and commissions come from the residents' revenue. That's why I think I put them on the top, because everything flows from their money, revenues
Yeah.
down to pay the lenders and the GPs and the LPs and pay our staff and the all those.
And
Maybe I
it's
don't know.
this explains literally why private lenders, private partners, and by banks feel
Yes,
better about buildings that have occupancy, feel better about
yes,
buildings that have been stable for longer.
right.
It's because
Yes,
it's showing a
yes.
happy customer. A
You
happy
got it.
customer
You
for a
got
longer
it.
period of time, a customer that pays more for a longer period of time is a sign of proof that
Proof. Yeah.
customer delight is happening. And that makes banks and partners feel more comfortable. This is fantastic, Vinny. I absolutely because anytime you have a big project, people are like, I don't know if I want to lend on that. I'll charge you more, or I don't know if I want to be a part of that. There's a lot of risk. You
Yes.
eliminate the risk by having satisfied customers. This is it ties a lot of things I've been working on in
Serving,
my head together.
serving
Thank you.
others, serving,
Serving
serving,
others,
serving others, serving the residents,
serving more
their
people,
goal,
because there are more
serving more
residents than
people.
there are lenders. Yes, there are
That's
more
right.
residents than there are passive LP partners. You
Passive,
may have 20
yes,
LPs, but you may have
yes,
2,000 tenants, right? You may have or
exactly,
two
exactly.
20,000 customers through your hotel in a
Totally,
year.
totally, totally, totally.
Okay.
Wow, I'm so glad we had this discussion. This
Yeah,
just
yeah, I'm
even,
learning. I'm learning as we're going. So one of the big
but you
things
know,
that you're
we
doing in
should talk about
2026, yep,
we
is
should
goals.
talk about mindset and goal
Yes.
setting. I am a big believer of that. Things don't happen by chance. I always say that you've got to write down. People I talk to, they say, "Oh, I've got goal in my mind." If you have in your mind and your mind just fluctuates up and down, it's conscious, subconscious every day, depending on the mood and the time and the day and the outside weather. I mean, we got to pin down our goals. What accomplishments we had in 2025 and what we're going to do in 2026. If we go to a bowling alley, I always say that, and you didn't see the pins where they are, they're not all pins there, but there is a curtain in the front, and we just have one pin down there, and we ask them ourselves, hey, drop the ball, but you don't know where that pin is, you're not going to hit it. So that's
Yep.
the same thing, analogy in goal setting. We got to really have very specific, very vivid goals written down with timelines. Dreams are there. Everybody dreams about everything. Do you want to make life interesting or committed? I talk about, that's what Ed Milet was. I was listening to one of his show. He said, people who get farther in life, they're committed to their goals. They're not interested. They're not just interested, I might hit that goal. No, no, no. Are you interested or are you committed? Is the word. I want to do a little write up on it and really set that stage how important it is to get committed and have the burning desire to achieve those goals with timelines. Every week timeline. We need to go through those things to accomplish them faster, quicker, and so forth.
Vinney Chopra. There is something that's been truer and truer the longer I've been in this business that I find is many people have dreams, very few set goals, and then those who do, even fewer, hold those goals to a ridiculous deadline and will not push the deadline. They make the closing happen, they make the deals happen. You,
Yes,
at the end of the year, two and a
yes.
half weeks left, have just put something under agreement to purchase in 2026. You are already lining up your
$26 million
2026
deals.
activities
$26
now.
million. We just closed on one yesterday, and we have one accepted last Friday. We have four more hotels on the books. They are bank owned. They are all off market. I mean, it's just amazing when you start dreaming and thinking those kind of things so concretely, things starts to happen. It takes
I
time.
have to confess, I just posted yesterday that we're back in negotiations, but we're about to sign an offer for a 38 unit that I just found out about Monday. No, Friday. Walked on Tuesday, and we are at the point of like we're just piddly negotiations with the seller financing component. We're going to close this by the 19th. So in a
Aha.
2 week period, we will close on a property that is 38 units in Cleveland, so not too far, easy to manage,
Love it.
50%
Love
occupancy. So
it.
we got an uphill battle with it, but
Here.
that is I didn't expect to, Vinny. I said I'm done. I bought three things. I'm done. Next year we'll start. We got 144 units under agreement for March, and I'm very satisfied. But I'm not going to stop saying yes because Vinny Chopra said keep submitting offers. Keep if
That's
you can do
right.
it, do it. So
I mean, find the,
thank
you
you,
know, the,
thank
the,
you.
the, the diamonds
This
are
has
in
been
the
my best
rough.
year, Vinny, because of 3 years
Ah,
of podcasting with you, 3 years of doing these
ah,
wealth principles. I can't speak to you and not go implement. I have to. I get off the
thank you.
call, and even now as we're speaking, I'm like, I got to document what we just talked about because that is fine. It's relevant to why my staff needs to know how important the residents are and providing these little things to them, because that's
Yes,
how we get to the next level. So
that's right.
what is
That's
you do a goal training? I know you start doing it around this time of the year and in January.
hmm
Your mastermind, if somebody wanted to jump into your mastermind for free, I know you give them 4 sessions for free
Yep.
on
hmm
Wednesdays,
hmm
4 p.m., 7 p.m. my time, 4 p.m. your time.
Yep.
What is the easiest way a person could get access to that link?
VinneyZoom.com. Vinney's VINNEYS Zoom.com. Or if you don't put S even, just VinneyZoom.com, you'll come to my, I mean, quickly right there, So please do come because we talk about all the masterminding inner circle is about raising money. How can we get LPs, GPs involved and how to find deals, all kind of deals. I know multifamily has been tough, but for many, like Brother Gualter and many, many of my students, it's been fabulous because if some turmoil is there, some distressed assets are there, it's the perfect time to buy them. So please come on over. Yeah.
Absolutely. You've heard it here. Vinny Chopra is still teaching. He's 73 years young, is going to continue growing. And it sounds like another $26 million just locked down for
Yeah.
2026. Ladies and gents, you go
Yes.
to vinnychopra.com/events. If you want to see some of the other events he's training, they don't start, he's finished for the year. They start again in January. And then
Yep.
if you're interested in learning more about the 52 Wealth Principles, you go to ibuildmillionaires.com on
Yes.
Saturday at 10
Yep.
a.m. PST, 7 a.m. Sorry, 10 a.m. EST,
EST.
7 a.m. PST.
Yep.
You can jump in and learn what those 52 principles are. And we're going to dive into this one a little bit deeper. Ladies and gentlemen, cheers to your success. When you have a choice,
Here's to your
always work with the
success.
best. Christmas is coming up. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, see you next week. Thank you, Brother Walter. And thank you, everybody, for taking the time to be with us. Please share, comment, and give positive reviews, and also pass on this episode right to your friends and family and other people who could really get something out of this one. Remember, you can control your destiny, you can control your best year 2026 if you put more time and effort in education, in learning, in diversifying all those things because passively living this life is not that good. Actively living this life is the best way to live. Here's to your success. See you in the next